This is a bonus page in your Life Path notebook. This one is a tool that I developed to help me to stay present to all of the various life refinement areas in my own life. And then I also use this in workshops, and people seem to really appreciate it. It's really a take on that old wheel. What do they call that? The wheel, like it's a coaching tool. Yikes, I can't remember the name of it. Maybe you'll know when I show it to you. But this page, again, is just, I call this my Hub of Spaciousness tool, and is totally optional. Let me show it to you. It's kind of a not the best image, but I'm going to put it up close to the screen. Hopefully it'll come through. And before I do, let me explain. So I just, again, it's that spider webby thing, just a circle, because I want the center of the circle to be some symbol that represents my inner stability, okay, and my anchor, my essence, the whole of who I am, that cannot be corrupted, that is there as the seed of light and life and love within you. So that's the center, and then out of that comes spokes. And actually, you might want to start with the outer rim of this circle. There's an outer rim and then an inner rim. And the outer rim, you want to put the kinds of buckets or containers or areas of your life that are important to you at this time. And this may change. This will change. If you're anything like me, it will definitely change. At the time that I did this, mine were home on that outer rim of the circle, home, relations, all relationships pretty much, love, and I meant that more broadly on my map. That'll become clear in a minute. Finances, health, joy, and then work and meaning, purpose. So those were my categories at the time. It doesn't have to be any certain number, and you want, probably that's where you want to start. Think of your categories first. I do this frequently, and I sometimes have like 3 things on my outer rim, and other times I have 12. Like it can vary. So once you have those identified, I draw a line from that center anchor of the whole of who you are to that particular area of focus. So my line that I drew from the center to the home on the outer rim, what you want to do is think of a keyword or phrase that goes with each of those things on the outer rim that can lead you into a place of spaciousness. And actually, I just want to say this actually could be adapted to, you could have a different quality. I needed spaciousness because that is aligned and it's necessary to support my core values and highest desired qualities of being. And I value freedom very highly, and I need a lot of space to be who I am. And it doesn't have to be literal space, but so I digress. So I'm going to show this to you again, and I want you to see that on each line between the center, core essence of who I am, and each of the things on the outer rim, which are in orange, I've drawn a line and I've written a phrase, because that phrase or that word at the time connected to that area of expression or growth, or that bucket that I wanted to connect my essence to and become stronger. So essentially to create outer stability. So I'll put it up in just a sec. So as an example, I mentioned love I had on there, and that I meant that very broadly. I meant I wanted to be a more loving person, and I wanted to attract more loving things to me. And so on my line, I wrote honor, honoring, and mutual respect. Between finances and that core, I wrote the word empowered, which is something I very much needed at that time in my life, because I didn't feel empowered. I felt out of control and helpless, even though I was doing well, like my whatever, the expenses, it was overwhelming to me. So, and I never felt empowered even when I was doing well, because I felt like I had no control. I had no power. That's what I felt, or that's the story I was telling myself. So that's what I put I hope this is making sense. You want to reach for something that will allow you to step into the fullness of who you know you are within. So health, I put strength, strengthened. Yeah, let's see. Work in meaning, purpose. I just stayed with full expression at that time because I was really, really working on the full part of that. Like I was expressing, I was definitely expressing, but I was holding back in certain ways. So I'm going to hold this up and I want you to look at the spokes on this one. So you can see, you just put a word or a phrase that goes from the center out to that area. Okay, and then you'll see I put these icons or visuals in each section. I'm going to talk a little bit about that because it's a little layered here. So after I have those spokes, I then created these little icons with markers. So they're kind of messy. You can't really see what they are. But as an example, I made the icons between two. You don't have to get this sophisticated. You can actually just make an icon for each of the, that may be simpler, an icon for each of the areas or the key phrases. So yeah, let's go with that. So presence and peace were that was my key phrase going to relations, which was on the outer rim. So I drew on either side of that line, I drew two rivers because that is symbolic to me of peaceful presence. And then I drew between relations and love. I drew this picture of this, this woman bringing a gift, and that was to represent to me showing up, present and peaceful and bringing the gifts that I shared and open to receive gifts, which so again, I did my images between two. Another example would be between home, which my keyword was sanctuary, and between work, meaning, purpose, which my keyword was full expression. I drew this beautiful mountain with the sun, not beautiful in terms of art, but, like a mountain form with the little sun above, which immediately connects me to the energy of what I want home to feel like, and also to what relates to my purpose, because at the time I was focused on, this big vision of my Soul Streams virtual retreat center was up and running, and I wanted the real thing, and I love the land so much. And so find images or icons, and you can cut these out of magazines. You don't have to draw them, but a simple doodle will suffice, that will connect you to the energy of what would help you to feel what's on that spoke and what's in the area that's on the outer rim. So once you've done that, the images, so now you have that center, your essence, you've got the keywords and phrases on the spokes going out to that outer rim and the areas, and what you want the spaciousness to feel like because you have the images. The next thing I did was on that inside of the outer rim, I wrote more words that were in general ways of being that would again help me to more fully express that keyword or phrase. So example, between work and meaning and home, that we were just talking about with that mountain icon, and the keywords were full expression and sanctuary between those two. I wrote streams of my soul, which is all, like I wanted to call the retreat center, the Soul Streams, retreat center. And so it's about sharing the streams of my soul, what I held within me, and then balance and flow, because I wanted it to be both a place of stability for me and for those who entered into that space, and for people to find their flow in their own life and life's work. Let me show you one more time. So the keywords, the qualities I kind of wrote on this inner rim here. So that's the hub of spaciousness. Play with it, adapt it, make it what you will. And if this seems too complex, just take one area. So let's go with home, and find your keyword or key phrase that will connect your inner essence and allow you to express that and more fully and more authentically in that area, and then draw the the icon or the symbol or the image, or collect something collage wise, and then use that simple little, like, put it on an index card. That's a good idea, actually. Just put it on a little piece of paper like this, and a little visual and maybe some words, and carry it around. That actually is a really good thing to do to anchor in a particular area. Okay, I hope that was helpful. That was a long video. That was the hub of spaciousness.